Hello everyone and welcome to another video about Chinese characters. In this video I'd like to talk about the character that you see on the screen over here, and it is mostly pronounced zhong in the fourth tone, and it means the most important meaning that it has is heavy, as in the word or the expression 很重, which means just very heavy or heavy. And then it has the meaning serious or important in the expression or word 重要, and can be pronounced also chong in the second tone in expressions like to repeat, which is 重复, for instance. So I chose to talk about this character because it is, first of all, very interesting, and second of all, it is very often misinterpreted when it comes to its structure, its etymology, and why it is written the way it is written. So one of the often interpretations of this character is that it is the reason why it means heavy is that it is an ancient weighing machine, that this is the base of the weighing machine, this is the axis of the weighing machine, and these are individual weights that you sort of, or plates of weights that you put on this axis, and somehow you are weighing something, or you are determining the weight of I don't know, of grain or something similar, and as an extension it came to mean heavy. Now this is wrong. There are many Chinese characters that are interpreted like this. These interpretations are very poetic, but unfortunately they are wrong, and I'll try to explain to you why this character is written the way it is. So the original version, or the base of this character, is this version of the character over here. The original meaning of the character was actually to carry something heavy on your back, and it consisted of two parts, and you can hopefully see the green one and the orange one. The green part is a person, and the orange one is sort of like a basket that person would carry on his or her back. I think it's a very visual character, very easy to understand just by looking at it. If I tell you that it means to carry something heavy on your back, you could easily sort of understand why this character is written the way it is. Now, the interesting step, or the thing that for me is very, very interesting, is the transition from that version over here to this one. Now, this was a very visual character. It's called a semantic compound, which means that the elements in it are combined into the meaning of the character just based on the meaning of these individual elements. So the meaning person and the meaning basket, just the meaning, combines into the meaning to carry something heavy on your back. This character here, however, is a phonosemantic compound, which means that there are elements in the character which are there for their sound value, for their phonetic value, and there are elements in this character which are in it because of their semantic value. Now, interestingly enough, they chose, whoever was responsible for the creation of this version of the character, they chose to take this basket and put it in the middle. However, it is not the basket anymore. It only looks like it. What this middle section of the character actually is the character which is pronounced dong, and it means east. You might not recognize it because this is the seal script version of the character, and east was written, well, exactly like this. And it's pronounced dong, and it is the phonetic element in this character. Now, those of you who know what phonosemantic compound characters are, and this is exactly a phonosemantic compound character, they know what a phonetic element is. I'll try to explain it to you very fast. It is the element that gives the character its sound, that tells you how to read this character. So if you look at the pronunciation of this orange part, dong, and you look at the pronunciation of our character as a whole, which is either zhong or chong, the final ONG cluster is basically the same, right? Except for the tone. The tones are different, but we have dong, ong, and we have zhong, ong, and chong, ong. So this central section of the character tells you how to read it. Not exactly, but it's enough for an approximation. The interesting fact or thing about this whole character and transition is that the dong character resembles the basket visually, which is, I think, very interesting. This is very rare with Chinese characters. The transition usually was not this smart. It was very arbitrary, and this is very, very interesting. Now, what happened to the rest of the character? So the phonetic part, dong, is in the middle, and now the semantic part, one of the semantic parts, the person, is over here. It was move to the top, and then we have a new element at the bottom, the blue one, which is pronounced tu in the third tone, and it means soil. Soil is the ground or that you stand on, right? Soil, and it just adds to the semanticness of the I don't know, semanticness, I don't know if this is the correct word, but to the semantic understanding of the character. So you have the person, which was here before. The soil wasn't here before, but it was added to the character to underline the meaning heavy, or to carry a heavy load on your back. And the character was sort of rearranged from top to bottom, as you can see. A very, very interesting thing. This is very rare with Chinese characters. It almost never happens. And then in the third step, when we get to the character that we have, the way it looks today, the person was totally disfigured, very, very disfigured, almost not recognizable. Same thing happened to the dong in the middle, and it is merged and it shares this stroke. If you can see, it shares the stroke with the bottom tu, with the soil. So it's very simplified and disfigured compared to this one, and it has almost nothing to do with the first version, right? The person is still kind of here. The dong, the basket, which used to be a basket, then was replaced by a dong east phonetic element, is very disfigured, and tu is sort of merged onto the dong, onto the middle part. So one should avoid these poetic explanations that I was talking about in the middle, which was that this is an ancient weighing device, which over here we have its base, this is the axis, and these are the individual weights on it, and therefore it means heavy. Well, no, it isn't. A lot of Chinese characters look strange and are... It is possible to interpret them in many, many ways, as was the one that I said, base, axis, and individual weights. But very often there is a very logical explanation behind a lot of Chinese characters. You just need to do the research, which is extremely difficult to do. For instance, this particular character, it took me, well, I don't remember the exact time, but it wasn't just a few hours. It was really a lot of time that I had to spend on reading through databases of Chinese characters, through ancient dictionaries and scientific papers on Chinese characters to actually come to this interpretation. It's very plausible. I think it's much more plausible than the one that I have told you in the beginning, which is that the Chinese character is basically an ancient weighing instrument. And again, I would say that the absolute majority of Chinese characters do not have poetic interpretations, or should not be interpreted poetically, but scientifically, as is this one. So I hope you liked the video. If you enjoy these videos, I just wanted to mention that I have finished writing a book about Chinese characters, where you can find explanations like this one. It's a book for beginners to upper intermediate students, but I think advanced learners will also find it interesting, because as you can see, I tried really, really hard to go into a lot of academic details and research to find the correct interpretations of characters that are in the book. I will link the book description and where you can buy it in the description of this video. I again hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.